The Biden-Harris administration hasn't skipped a beat in ensuring that taxpayer dollars go towards subsidizing the postmodern indoctrination on display in so many American towns. Over the summer, the Supreme Court upheld a stay on the administration's SAVE plan. But the administration still won't take no for an answer, pushing forward with yet another version of student loan socialism. Last week, the scheme hit another roadblock in federal court. Remember, the Penn-Wharton model has estimated that previous iterations of this scheme would have cost taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. Even left-leaning think tanks have criticized student loan socialism for the regressive nature of its beneficiaries. But the Biden-Harris administration, like the Marxists of Morningside Heights, keep coming back for more. Now, on another matter, as we reconvene this week, the Democratic leader announced the Senate would, in his words, continue confirming the Biden-Harris administration's well-qualified judges and nominees. Nearly all the way through the administration's term, our colleagues would be right to wonder, what does he mean by well-qualified? The Biden-Harris administration described Julie Su as well-qualified to serve as Secretary of Labor after providing over $30 billion in unemployment fraud in her home state of California. Undoubtedly, the White House also sold Rachel Rollins as well qualified to serve as U.S. Attorney in her home state of Massachusetts, a position from which she resigned last year after she was caught attempting to influence an election and lying about it to investigators. So it may be worth taking the term well-qualified with a grain of salt, even more so when you consider who in this administration's pipeline of upcoming nominees. There are, of course, the ones about which the Senate has learned alarming and disqualifying details since we began our consideration, like Adele Manji, whose associations with terrorists, apologists, and advocates for cop killers seem only to have grown after the Judiciary Committee questioned him under oath. Or Sparkle Suknanan, who couldn't seem to give our colleagues on the committee a straight answer about the nature of her involvement in advocacy for hedge funds' right to collect on Puerto Rican debts. Or Embry Kidd, who misled the committee about his record of letting sex offenders off easily. There's the one so staggeringly unfit for life tenure on the federal bench that the Judiciary Committee rejected her nomination itself. Sarah Netburn, whose political activism from the bench and failure to render timely decisions on the compensation claims of grieving 9/11 families cast doubt on both her ethics and professional competence. And there are the ones who, without a heavy dose of nepotism, wouldn't have seen the inside of a Senate hearing room, from Kevin Ritz to Carla Campbell to Julia Lapis. So, Mr. President, the Democratic leader will have to forgive some of us for not suspending our disbelief. I can assure our colleagues that Senate Republicans are no more inclined today than we were in July to rubber stamp radicals for the federal bench.